Now that Furiosa is officially out, let's go over some of the best and some of the worst moments from the movie. And haha, who am I kidding? These are just gonna be all the best moments from the movie. Sir, this is the whole movie. That's the damn point. This is your spoiler warning. If you don't want to be spoiled, make sure you drop a like, follow, but come back later because I do want to hear your thoughts. Off rip, I absolutely love the opening scene, getting to see the green place. This is a biblical level of storytelling. It's just like the Garden of Eden and what happened when Furiosa picked the forbidden fruit. She got kidnapped. It was also cool seeing a younger version of Valkyrie who we saw in Fury Road before she turned into Fury Roadkill. But that leads us into the opening chase scene when I was just leaned in the entire time. Don't ever mess with Mama Bear. And shout out to Charlie Fraser, put her in every movie. I mean, just look at this damn shot. My butt was clenched the entire time. And when she went back to back on the rock, taking out Dementis' men one by one, it ultimately leads to Furiosa's mom getting killed. But I just gotta glaze this shot because George Miller, Sam Raimi, they're fist bumping somewhere. The scene where Dementis basically adopts Furiosa as being his new daughter and then having tryouts reminding me of the Joker from The Dark Knight. 5 motorcycles, 20 men. Get on a bike and tear the guy in the middle. That shit is crazy. Demented for real. Ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I just absolutely love what Chris Hemsworth is doing in this movie. Any scene with Dementis is really 10 out of 10, no notes. Particularly this scene when he turns into Red Dementis. I mean, just look at all of that maniacal aura. This man is driving a chariot carried by 3 motorcycles. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? This shit's metal as fuck. Which then leads us into the various stages of Furiosa's life. And one of my favorite scenes is the negotiation scene between Immortan Joe and Dementis. You know, the first time didn't really go that well. But this time, Dementis was like, all right, I got Gastown now. We gonna make some trades. His nipples got torn off. I was like, what are we watching? It ultimately leads to Furiosa wanting to go ahead and go with Immortan Joe and get adopted by him instead. Which I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of sad for Dementis because you could tell that was like the last little piece of humanity he had left in himself. This is a man who lost everything and went demented. I love how she keeps that seed that her mom told her to plant somewhere in abundance and the stars to find her way back home to the green place. I really appreciated all these quieter moments in the Citadel. Then obviously how she tricks everyone and masquerades as a dude. This is when I had my hand clenched on the seat when we get introduced to Praetorian Jack, who by the way, Aura, Furiosa before Furiosa, because we get 15 straight minutes of pure adrenaline action, practical action set pieces. The Octoboss gets fucking railed. The parachutes and shit, the cabbage, I was like, God! The entire Bullet Farm action sequence was just, oh my God! Beautiful, gripping, thrilling. The sound design here was just immaculate. Every time she was taking dudes out and Dementis was like, oh shit, oh shit. The fact that Furiosa actually went back for Praetorian Jack showed just how much she loved her and how much she wanted him to go to the green place with her, because he was ready to sacrifice himself. But when they escaped, they pissed off Dementis. He went full maniacal mode in his 6-wheeler, chased their asses down and started running them over and shit. I was like, oh my God. And that scene when he captures them is the most cruel shit ever. And obviously we get Chris Hemsworth giving us a great fucking quote. Hope? There is no hope! That's called motherfucking ball! I'm glad they didn't show us what Praetorian Jack looked like after it because, oh my God. And the fact that Furiosa escaped by cutting her arm off, we learned how she would cut her arm off, but she also lost her map back to the green place. And she's also out in the desert alone. She's probably gonna die. Then Max makes a fucking cameo appearance, the most MCU moment ever in a movie like that. I feel like we can assume that Max is the one that brought Furiosa back to the Citadel. And it does still make sense if he was to do that because her hair wasn't cut yet. And then obviously we get the scene of her getting her metal arm and that scene where she gets her war rig for the first time. And Buddy's like, that's the Archangel of Death, the 5th rider of the apocalypse. That's called motherfucking ball! And then she goes on her way to kill everybody in Dementis' group except Dementis himself. Can we just appreciate this shot when she has his ass cornered? And this entire back and forth between Dementis and Furiosa before he's like basically about to execute him, he's making some pretty valid points. Like she's basically gonna be him if she just ends up killing him and he's like, whatever, I don't care. I've already lost everything I know. You've lost everything you know. You're about to lose yourself just like I did. And then we get like the little fairy tales of like the many different ways she supposedly killed him. I love the mythical nature of all the Mad Max movies. And I love the way that they show us she planted the seed on his cock. 10 out of 10, no notes. I love this movie.